Iranian protesters. That's just one glaring inconsistency. Secretary Clinton, at the direction of Barack Obama, blamed Israel for insulting America, weighed Israel down with additional demands, tied American national security to the Israeli-Palestinian peace effort, and stretched what should have been an unfortunate incident to a dressing down of Israel that can be fairly described as unbalanced and surreal. A bureaucratic mistake became, quote, this was Hillary Clinton's words, an insult to America. These words are carefully chosen. This was the phrase used by Hillary Clinton and was deliberately chosen by the president and our nation's chief diplomat. And this is the president, by the way, who famously declared that words matter. All right? Just one thing. Obama's anti-Israel hysteria is dangerous and destructive. This is from the Australian, which is a newspaper in Australia. Barack Obama's, this comes 2 weeks later, and they're talking about the administration continues to harp on Israel about this gaffe of announcing the building permits in this part of Israel that Israel could do what they want. It's Israel. I mean, it's their portion. Barack Obama's anti-Israel jihad is one of the most irresponsible policy lurches by any modern American president. It rightly earns Obama the epithet of the U.S. president least sympathetic to Israel in Israel's history. Jimmy Carter became a great hater of Israel, but only after he left office. Obama's dangerous new lurch in anti-Israel populism changes global politics in extremely dangerous ways and poses a challenge for Kevin Rudd, who is the Australian Minister of Foreign Affairs. All right? Obama leads world chorus against Israel plan for Jerusalem. This was a week ago. U.S. President Barack Obama led world powers on Tuesday in criticizing Israel's decision to build 1,300 settler homes in East Jerusalem, warning it risks wrecking an already fragile peace process with the Palestinians. This kind of activity is never helpful when it comes to peace negotiations, Obama told reporters during a visit to Indonesia. I'm concerned that we're not seeing each side make the extra effort to get a breakthrough that could finally create a framework for a secure Israel living side by side in peace with a sovereign Palestine, the U.S. leader said. Barack Obama's top 10 insults against Israel. This is by Niall Gardner. Last week, Israel celebrated its 62nd year as a nation, but there was a major cause for concern amid the festivities as the Israeli people faced the looming menace of a nuclear-armed Iran, as well as the prospect of a rapidly deteriorating relationship with Washington. The Israel bashing of the Obama administration has become so bad that even leading Democrats are now speaking out against the White House. New York Senator Chuck Schumer blasted Barack Obama's stance towards Israel in a radio interview last week, stating his counterproductive Israel policy has to stop. So this guy continues to write. I have this article in full if you were interested in seeing it. I printed out 3 of them. Here's my top 10 list of Obama administration insults against Israel after just 15 months in power. So this was back in May. Obama's humiliation of Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House. Engaging Iran when Tehran threatens a nuclear holocaust against Israel. 3. Drawing a parallel between Jewish suffering in the Holocaust with the current plight of the Palestinians. Number 4. Obama's attack on Israel's occupation in his speech to the United Nations. To say occupation means that Israel is the bad guy, right? They're there and they're the bad guy. Obama's accusation that Israel is the cause of instability in the Middle East. The Obama administration's establishment of diplomatic relations with Syria. We're going to be talking about Syria and Syria today. What's the capital of Syria? Damascus. Damascus is the capital of Syria. We're going to look at prophecies against Damascus. It's going to be wiped out. Hillary Clinton's 43-minute phone call berating Netanyahu. David Axelrod's attack on Israeli settlements on Meet the Press. Hillary Clinton's call on Israel to show respect to the United States. And Robert Gibbs' disparaging remarks about Israel. Robert Gibbs is the press secretary, or used to be. Is he still doing it? Yeah, he's a new guy. But he always, if there was ever an opportunity to bash Israel, he would do it. It's just amazing. It was just incredible. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at certain prophecies against Israel. And before we do this, I want to play a little clip here. So get the lights. We'll just watch this for a second. All right. I think so. I don't know where the sound's going to come on, so hold your ears. Oh, not going to come on at all.
Is about to explode. and drag the entire world into one of the most difficult and terrifying conflicts in world history. In this segment, we will report on three things. First, what nations are threatening the existence of Israel today? Second, what are the nations the biblical prophets say will come against Israel in the last days? And third, do we see evidence that these prophecies are beginning to be fulfilled in our own day? We will take you to the Knesset and other government buildings, where you will hear Israel's political and military leaders talk about the nations threatening Israel today.
I think we have to do everything in our power to prevent the arming of Iran with nuclear weapons. On this, I have to say there's absolute unanimity in Israel.
Nuclear capability in the hands of the Iranians is not only a threat against Israel, that's a threat to the world.
But is Iran the only threat Israel is facing? What about Hamas in Gaza and Hezbollah in Lebanon?
John, Iran is the major threat according to the Israeli intelligence community as far as the Jewish state of Israel is concerned, but it's not the only threat in this neighborhood.
We're being not only told that we'll be wiped off the face of the earth, but also that Iranian-backed proxies are establishing themselves at our doorsteps and rocketing our people. And this is the problem. This is the source of the problem. This is why it's becoming so dangerous, because how can you negotiate with somebody who wants your destruction?
As you look down at the nation of Israel from space, you realize how small it really is. Israel stretches only 263 miles from north to south, and its width ranges from 71 miles at its widest point to only 9 miles at its narrowest point. To the northeast, Israel faces a 47-mile border with Syria. To the north, a 49-mile border with Lebanon. To the east, Israel has a 147-mile long border with Jordan. And to the southwest, Israel borders Egypt, and directly south has a small window onto the Red Sea. This map will give you an idea of Israel's landmass as compared to the 22 Arab and Muslim countries surrounding it. With all of this in mind, we begin with what Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, told us about the threat Israel is currently facing from Iran.
The militant Shiites in Iran are openly racing, boasting that they're racing to develop nuclear weapons, with the explicit announced goal of wiping Israel from the face of the earth, re-establishing the caliphate, of course under militant Shiite Iranian rule. The caliphate includes the territories from Iran to Spain. Developing long-range ballistic missiles first that are targeted to every European capital and within a decade to reach the eastern coast of the American mainland. If Iran acquires nuclear weapons, everything that we've been talking about will pale in comparison, because the power to extend power, to threaten, to realize the threats, to make good on the threats would be on a level that we have not seen, nor one that we can readily imagine. It will put the oil reserves of the Gulf under their sway. They could easily bring down governments or fold them into their own. They will inspire and encourage the radicals in the various Islamic communities that they're targeting around the world, and they will be in turn inspired by the fact that obviously the acquisition of nuclear weapons is a providential sign